Welcome back. It is Monday, July 24th in the MLB. Our three favorite picks are on the way. It's Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday. A solid 2-1 day. We'll take it. The Rangers on the money line. We appreciate you Rangers for showing up. After the first, I was a little scared. They were down 4-0, but they ended up clutching up, winning 8-4. White Sox, Twins, Nerfy. Giolito, we appreciate you, man. We'll take the Nerfy. We got the wave, the flags, and the D-backs on the money line. They did not come through. A 2-1 day overall. We'll take that. A little 4-1 run going into the new week. There's a lot of new series starting today. Let's dive into them. But first, do you want to give some sad news? We don't have any dinger plays today. It's the early morning. They don't have a lot of lines for us. We do actually have a twist. We're going to have an anti-dinger parlay. We're going to have a no home run parlay, which we will post later on in the day, probably around lunchtime, 12 p.m. Eastern time. We've been messing around with them over the last couple of days, and they've been pretty profitable for us. So I know no one wants to root for no home runs, but we're going to obviously do that. We're going to tote the line. Dingers will return back on Dinger Tuesday when they normally are back. And last note, parlay of the day is back. It won't be live by the time the video goes live, but should be live by like 10, 11 a.m. at the latest. And it will include a bunch of guys from the later on games. So check it out. Top link in the description for the parlay of the day. But Logan, we're going to let you kick this one off with an under, which people are going to love. Which game are you going to?
Yeah, everyone likes when we pick a total and it's an under. But I'm sorry, guys. I kind of sense a tide turning in baseball where the offense is kind of like settling down a little bit. I'm taking the Rangers and Astros under 9 runs. Minus 115 odds on BetMGM. Yeah, the people are going to love this contrarian pick, right? You see these two teams, you just immediately think offense. If you can't get there with me and you have to bet the over or you just cannot bet the under, fine, I understand. Don't tail. I'm not no gun to your head in this one. Brandon Bielak is starting for the Astros. 3.46 ERA and a 1.4 WHIP on the year. I like those numbers, and the number I like even more is Bielak's home ERA. 2.87 ERA at home this year. Really, really solid from Bielak. He pitches pretty comfortable there. And as far as he's facing a power lineup in the Rangers, right? Bielak hasn't allowed a home run in 3 straight starts. Knock on wood, right? Hopefully he can continue that today and be an ally of the anti-dinger parlay that we will make. I don't know if I'm bold enough to touch a Ranger, but that's not neither here nor there. Rangers should be missing, a key guy for sure in Corey Seager. He's out, but Garcia is questionable. If Adolis Garcia and Seager are out, this is one of those games that I think those injuries could finally catch up to them. Yesterday, they had the benefit of facing Sheehan, which is he's not a good pitcher. So they had a favorable matchup yesterday, and they took advantage of it. Today, with Bielak pitching, at home, Rangers on the road, I could see that slightly struggling. Texas is hitting 270 on the road in July, but that was with Seager and Garcia. If there's one or both are out today, let's see if there's any dip in production. I think there will be a noticeable dip in production for the Rangers offense today. Now, who's starting for the Astros or who's starting for the Rangers today? It's John Gray. John Gray, 3.31 ERA and a 1.19 WHIP. Gray faced the Astros twice this year. 6 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 2 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Obviously, the 5 earned runs less than ideal for John Gray, but Gray is only allowing a 220 batting average versus this Astros lineup in his career. So I do like to see that with more plate appearances. The Astros haven't really seen him all that well. One decent outing, one bad outing. Astros, though, have really been struggling recently. If you've been back in the Astros, I don't really need to tell you that. They just have not been, they have not looked that impressive offensively recently. The Astros have the second worst batting average, only 173 versus right-handed pitchers over the last 7 days. They've looked pretty hapless versus the A's, in a matchup that I thought they should really be able to exploit. Because we know the A's starting pitchers terrible. We know their bullpen terrible. And the Astros just really couldn't get anything going offensively. So is that a sign of struggle? I certainly think so. And I don't necessarily think they're going to tee off on John Gray today and, just make this thing soar over. And then if we talk about bullpens, Houston, 5th best in bullpen ERA over the last 7 days. Their bullpen's only allowing a 156 bullpen ERA. I think they should definitely be able to hold down the Rangers bats once Bielak does come out. And then now the Rangers, 29th in bullpen ERA over the last 7 days. That's not great, but it is extremely inflated. When you allow double-digit earned runs in back-to-back games versus the Dodgers, it's going to inflate your bullpen ERA. And you have to remember back to how they finished out that game yesterday, which was really solid. Martin Perez really settled in, and the bullpen took them the rest of the way there. And then you look at the series before that against the Rays. They were lights out against Tampa in that series when they had to have it. And I think that's kind of like the other two games against the Dodgers were the anomaly. I think this Rangers bullpen will be all right today as far as just not allowing the Astros to tee off on them. They can allow a few, runs here and there. They just can't be catastrophic and allow like 5 earned runs in an inning or something. And I think they'll be solid enough for us today. I think this number is just a little bit too high given what I've seen from these two teams, especially recently from the Astros. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under. You like it or hate it, that's what I'm on today. But Austin, you got a team total for us today. What you got on it?
Yeah, if you don't want to bet an under, well, I got an over for you. And I'm going to go to the latest game on the slate, 10-10 start time. I'm going to the Blue Jays, taking their team total over 4.5, currently plus 100 on BetMGM. This is not going to go up to 5. I'd be very surprised if you did. And honestly, if you want to wait to live bet it after the first inning, because I swear the Blue Jays probably aren't getting me a year fee, you can do that too. But either way, I like the Blue Jays today. And while I consider them on the money line, they obviously can't win without scoring some runs, and I think they're going to have to score at least 5 and to beat this Dodgers team. And I honestly think that the old regular full game over could hit, but I rather just trust the Blue Jays, which is a crazy sentence to put together. But let's talk with the Blue Jays here because they're going to face up against Michael Grove of the Dodgers. And you look at Grove, 6.40 ERA and a 1.54 WHIP. You look at his last 7 starts, 4, 1, 4, and 1 earned run. So he's been giving up a lot of earned runs. He's had a couple starts coming off a good start. Will he be able to duplicate that good start? I just don't think so. The proof is there that he hasn't been able to duplicate it. In the middle there, he did have a hold where they had him coming out of the bullpen and only throwing like 2 innings pitched, but I'm not going to count that. We want him to be the main starter, and that's what he's going to do. Now, like I said, coming off a solid start, but that was versus Baltimore. You look at Baltimore over the last 7 days, 14 weeks, really been a team actually struggling to hit right-handed pitchers, which I considered them today, but they're facing a lefty. So I think the Orioles will be able to put up some offense against the Phillies. But at the end of the day, this is the Blue Jays offense that over the last 14 days, 10th best batting average, 12th best OPS versus right-handed pitching. So should be able to get it done. And Grove is a guy that has struggled with home runs, especially at home. He's given up 8 home runs in just 31 2/3 innings pitched at home this season. Now the Blue Jays, if there's been any kryptonite for them, they have 2 of them actually. 1, they really haven't been hitting a ton of home runs, so maybe Grove can help them out there. And 2, they haven't been doing well with runners in scoring position. In fact, look at their numbers. That's why the Blue Jays have been struggling this year. The Blue Jays have plenty of base runners on base. They just can't seem to get those timely hits. And you look at the Blue Jays, they have the 7th worst batting average, 245, and the 4th worst OPS, that 0.697 with runners in scoring position. This is a team struggling to get those guys around, but Grove might be able to help him out because he's allowing a 367 batting average with runners in scoring position and a 440 batting average with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. So this is a guy that's been struggling to get out of innings, struggling to get out of those big innings when he has multiple runners on base. And I think that this Blue Jays team should be able to capitalize here. I mean, like I said, this Blue Jays team has plenty of talent from 1 through 9 in their order. They get guys on base. It's been getting those guys around. And maybe a guy like Grove could throw out, a 2-3 run home run, and that could really help us cash out here. You look at Grove's really just a three-pitch pitcher. He's going to throw a lot of 4-seamers about 40% of the time. 35-ish is going to be a slider, and then the other about 18 to 20 is going to be a curveball. So if they want to sit waiting for a 4-seam fastball and be able to put it out in a very hitter-friendly ballpark in Dodger Stadium, I certainly think they're capable. Now, Grove, maybe he pitches all right, gives up 2 or 3 earned runs in the first 5 or 6 innings. We know the Dodgers bullpen capable of giving up some runs. I mean, they had to pitch 4 guys yesterday. They obviously they've been better as of late, but haven't been great on the full year, in terms of being one of the best bullpens in the league. And at the end of the day, you get 9 innings guaranteed out of the Blue Jays. And if there's anything I know, if maybe it's not looking good, the Blue Jays are always a team that at the end of the game, they always pad their stats. It feels like they could be down, 10 runs. They're coming in to pad the stats in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. One of the best scoring offenses in the 8th and 9th. So maybe we need that last run. Maybe they got 4 going into the 8th. Maybe we need that last run there. I certainly think they're capable. They obviously have the talent. The Springers, the Bichetts, the Vladdies of the world, they can go get it done. I think these guys can get us at least 5 runs today, hopefully more. I know they didn't have the greatest series against the Mariners. They won a couple of those games and they really are on like a road trip here, but I think they're going to step up today. I know it's crazy, but I think the Blue Jays step up, potentially win this game outright, but I'd rather take their team total because I think they're going to have to score 5 if they're going to win. So give me the Blue Jays team total over 4.5 plus 100. I like the value there. I'll take them. But Logan, you know what time it is, baby. Get out the flags. It's Nerfy Nation time, baby. We're going for, I think, a 3rd straight winner. And we got an early start today. So get it locked in. If you're watching it late, hopefully it's already cashed because we're going to dive right into this one. Like I said, 1:10 p.m. start because we are going to the earliest game on the slate, Giants and Tigers, taking the no-run first inning, currently minus 115 on Caesars. Now, let's talk about this one because This one, we could see a change in pitchers, and Logan will talk about that, but I am anticipating the two pitchers we talk about today to be out there. Several sites have them listed as the starters. I think they're going to be out there, but I'll start with the first half. It's going to be Tariq Skubal. Now, Skubal obviously hasn't started a whole lot this year, came back from injury, but 3-0 on Nerfies. Dating back to last year, Nerfied in 7 straight games. Giants, 19th in first inning runs. And I believe over the last week or two, Giants really struggling versus left-handed pitchers. Skubal is lefty. I think they have the 4th worst batting average versus lefty. So I think a guy like Skubal, come in here, do his thing, get us our first 3 outs, and then who's going to be pitching supposedly for the Giants today, Logan?
Yeah, it's scheduled to be Ross Stripling. I mean, we've seen him on several sites. So if it is Stripling, this information will hold true. If it's not Stripling, then you make the judgment call, and if you want to play this Nerfy. But we're going to go ahead and take a shot at it. Stripling, 7-2 on no-run first innings this year. He's been really solid in the first inning, and he faces a Tigers offense. It's 22nd in first inning runs. I mean, they're not all that great. Yesterday, of course, it was a Yurfie solo bomb by Torkelson. Then I just don't think Stripling's going to be able. I think Stripling's going to be able to hold them from doing that again. I mean, the fact that they're 22nd tells you a lot. The over/under is at the 8.5, right in the range. Most of these games are nowadays. I think these two starting pitchers, if they do end up going, are really solid. And if it's a change on the Giants side, that might not be the worst thing, as long as it's not DeSclafani. I told Austin and I were really happy we did not pick Giants Nats, because DeSclafani came in the first inning and just gave up the Yurfie, and we're like, what the heck was that? That was a weird switch. But no matter who starts really for the Giants today, I don't really see the Tigers scoring early in this one. Nerfy Nation, let's fly the flags again.
Yeah, let's get out the flag. The one guy I am concerned about is going to be Javi Baez, but I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be on Baez today, given his splits versus Stripling, and that just ain't it. He ain't doing anything, hopefully. So if you want to put a hedge in there, obviously Baez has pretty good splits against Stripling. But either way, it's still a Tigers offense that we're trusting to go 3 outs and not get a run. So Stripling, and we need you, man. Skubal, go get it done. We appreciate you guys. Those are our 3 favorite plays of the day. Our parlay of the day, once it is live, which should be live in a couple, maybe an hour or so. You can check it out definitely well before. We won't have any hitters from that first game. So check it out. 3 players each get a hit linked on the screen below my face once it is live, once they edit it and post it for you all. We love you guys. Have a great Monday. Let's hopefully have another great day. We'll post that anti-dinger play a little bit later on today. And then, of course, we'll be back for some regular Dinger Tuesdays on Tuesday. Love you guys. Let's have a great day. We'll see you guys back on Tuesday. Peace.